Hey there, and welcome. So today, we're going to dive into a really powerful idea that's, well, it's totally reshaping the business world. We're talking about what it means to be a truly responsible enterprise. And trust me, this goes way, way beyond just the bottom line. It's really about a company's total impact on people and on our planet. So let's get right into it.
All right, let's just kick things off with a pretty big question. In this super interconnected world we live in, what should we really expect from the companies we interact with every single day? You know, the ones we work for, buy from, maybe even invest in? The old answers just don't quite cut it anymore, do they? It feels like the whole game is changing and our expectations are changing right along with it. Okay, so first step, we're looking at what it means to move beyond profit. This is really the starting point, understanding this massive shift in how we even think about the purpose of a business. It's all about moving towards a brand new, much broader mandate. So, right at the heart of this whole movement is this idea of the responsible enterprise. And look, the keyword here is holistic. This is so important. We're not talking about some slick PR campaign or a fancy annual report. No, this is a core business philosophy. It's about considering the impact on everyone and everything a company touches, a group we call stakeholders. And this is where you can really see just how big of a change this is. For like decades, right? The traditional model was all about one thing and one thing only: maximizing profit for shareholders. That's it. Success was just a number on a spreadsheet. But this new responsible model, it completely flips the script. The focus shifts from just profit to the well-being of all stakeholders. And success? Well, that's measured by the positive impact a company actually creates. It's a huge, huge change in perspective. Which, brings up a really important question. I keep using that word, stakeholders. It's a bit of business speak, I know. So who are we actually talking about here? Who falls under that umbrella?
Well, this stakeholder circle is actually incredibly wide. It's not just one group, it's the employees, the people who show up every day and pour their talent and energy into the company. It's the customers, the ones who put their trust in the products. It's also the communities where the business operates, both right next door and all across the globe. And this is a big one, it includes the environment. You can think of it as a silent but absolutely vital stakeholder for every single one of us. A truly responsible enterprise gets that it has a duty to all of them. So let's zoom in on that last one for a minute because it is so important, the planet. This brings us to the first major pillar of being a responsible enterprise: environmental stewardship. Now, when we say environmental stewardship, I want to be really clear. This is not a passive thing. It's not just about, doing no harm. It goes way beyond that. It's an active, ongoing commitment to manage and protect our natural resources. And not just for us, right now, but for all the generations that come after us. It's a truly proactive responsibility. Okay, so how does a company actually do this? What does it look like in practice? Well, it's a pretty logical three-step journey. First, you have to assess. You have to start with an honest look at your current impact, right? Because you can't fix what you don't measure. Then, once you know where you stand, you move to reduce. This is where you implement real strategies to lower emissions and cut down on waste. And finally, the goal is conserve, making the active protection of resources a part of the company's DNA for the long haul. That's the path.
All right, so we've talked about the planet. But just as important is the other core pillar of a responsible enterprise: the people. This is all about building a truly human-centric model, one that puts social and ethical responsibility front and center. And this quote, this really gets to the heart of the matter. This isn't just a nice idea or friendly suggestion, it's a fundamental responsibility. The absolute baseline for any business today is to respect human rights and to make darn sure they aren't causing or contributing to any violations, period. Not directly, not indirectly. And when you look at what this means in the real world, the difference is just night and day. On one side, you have these non-negotiable principles, things like fair wages, safe working conditions, equal opportunity, and protecting kids. And on the other side, you have the violations that have to be eliminated, things like unfair wages, forced labor, discrimination, and child labor. The line in the sand is crystal clear, and the responsibility to stay on the right side of it is absolute. And it's so important to get this. This responsibility doesn't just stop at the company's own front door. It extends all the way down the entire global supply chain. Through things like fair trade principles, the idea is to make sure that everyone involved in making a product, no matter where they are, is treated with dignity and respect. Okay, so let's pull all these threads together. Let's take a step back and look at the big picture. What does this whole shift towards a responsible enterprise really mean? What's the bottom line? At the end of the day, it really boils down to four interconnected pillars. You need a truly holistic approach, where this stuff isn't just a side project, it's baked into the company's DNA. You need that proactive environmental stewardship we talked about. You absolutely have to have human-centric principles guiding every decision. And the glue that holds it all together? That's unwavering ethical leadership from the top down. And that leaves us with one last really important question to turn back to you. Because this isn't just about what big companies do, right? It's also about the power that we all hold. With our wallets, with the jobs we choose, with our voices, we have a say. So the real question is, what's your role going to be in building this more responsible future? Definitely something to think about. Thanks so much for joining me.